The golden sun stretched its warm fingers over Pine Ridge Park, painting the sky in brilliant streaks of amber and gold. Families scattered across the lush green fields, enjoying the perfect afternoon. Children shrieked with laughter as they darted across the grass, their kites soaring high like colorful birds against the blue expanse. The air was filled with the cheerful symphony of birds chirping in the trees, mingling with the rustling of leaves in the soft breeze. Sitting on a wooden bench near the playground, Sarah Lawson kept a watchful eye on her two children, 8-year-old Emily and 5-year-old Jake, who giggled as they clambered over the swings. She had endured more than her fair share of hardships over the years. After her husband abandoned them without a second thought, she had fought tooth and nail to provide for her kids, working tirelessly to ensure they never lacked love or security. Strong, resilient, and fiercely protective, Sarah had always been a force to be reckoned with. But today would test her strength in ways she never expected. Just as she flipped a page of her book, enjoying the rare moment of peace, the deep, guttural rumbling of motorcycle engines shattered the calm. A gang of leather-clad bikers roared into the parking lot, their deafening laughter and crude jokes slicing through the air like an unwelcome storm. Their presence was undeniable, demanding attention. The Iron Fangs. They weren't hardened criminals, but they were known troublemakers. Bullies who relished intimidating anyone they deemed weaker. And today, they had found their next target. As they stomped toward the concession stand, one of them, a burly, broad-shouldered man with a thick beard and a menacing skull tattoo etched onto his neck, caught sight of Sarah sitting alone. A wicked grin spread across his face as he nudged the guy beside him. Well, he drawled, voice thick with amusement. Looks like we've got ourselves a lonely little lady soaking up the sun. The others snickered, turning their gazes toward her. One of them, a lean man with a jagged scar running down his cheek, let out a slow, mocking whistle. Sarah stiffened but refused to acknowledge them, focusing on her book. But the leader, who went by the name Razor, wasn't the type to be ignored. He sauntered over, his heavy boots crunching against the gravel as he invaded her space, standing far too close for comfort. "Hey there, sweetheart," he said, his tone laced with condescension. "What's a pretty little thing like you doin' all alone?" Sarah exhaled sharply, suppressing the urge to roll her eyes. She had encountered men like this before, puffed-up bullies who mistook silence for weakness. But she wasn't weak, not by a long shot. "I'm here with my kids," she replied evenly, meeting his gaze without a trace of fear. "And I'd appreciate it if you left us alone." The bikers chuckled, clearly entertained by her defiance. Another man, a stocky guy with a red bandana tied around his head, grinned. "Feisty one, huh? We like that." Razor leaned in just a little closer, his smirk widening. "Come on, sweetheart. Don't be so cold. We're just being friendly." Sarah's jaw clenched. Her patience was razor-thin. "I said, leave us alone." At that moment, Jake came sprinting up, his tiny hands clutching his favorite toy truck. "Mommy, can I have some ice cream?" he asked excitedly, until he noticed the men. His face immediately fell, his little hands tightening around his toy as he took a cautious step back. Razor sneered, eyeing the boy. "Oh, is this your little guy?" he mocked, reaching out as if to ruffle Jake's hair. Sarah shot to her feet in an instant, stepping between them with the protective fierceness of a lioness. Her eyes burned with warning. "Don't touch him." The gang erupted into laughter, but before Razor could respond, another voice sliced through the air like a blade. "I'd listen to her if I were you." The bikers all turned at once, their smirks faltering as they took in the sight of the man standing just a few feet away. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and carried himself with an undeniable air of power. Every step he took exuded quiet confidence, the kind that came from years of knowing exactly what he was capable of. His sharp blue eyes were locked onto the bikers, unwavering and intense. His short-cropped brown hair barely moved in the wind, his presence as solid as a fortress. Logan Lawson, Sarah's older brother. But Logan wasn't just any man, he was a Navy SEAL. Razor's gaze flicked over him, sizing him up. His smirk returned, though this time it was forced. And who the hell are you? Logan's expression remained unreadable. Steady. Lethal. I'm her brother, he stated simply, his voice calm, yet filled with an underlying promise of danger. And you're about 2 seconds away from making the worst mistake of your life. A tense silence stretched between them. One of the bikers muttered under his breath, "Oh, great. Another tough guy." Logan didn't even flinch. He stepped forward, his piercing eyes never leaving Razor's. "You have 2 options," he said, voice like steel. "Turn around and leave quietly, or I make sure you regret ever setting foot in this park." Razor scoffed, but there was a flicker of hesitation in his eyes. He wasn't stupid. He could sense real danger when it stood in front of him. "Big talk, buddy," he sneered. Logan smirked. "You want to find out if it's just talk?" The entire park had gone silent. Parents and kids had stopped what they were doing, watching the confrontation unfold with bated breath. Even Sarah could feel the shift in the air, like a coiled spring ready to snap. One of the bikers, seemingly smarter than the rest, grabbed Razor's sleeve. "Come on, man. Let's go. This dude looks like trouble." Razor glared at Logan for another long second, as if weighing his chances. Finally, with a grunt of frustration, he spat on the ground and turned away. "Whatever," he muttered. "This place is lame, anyway." The gang mounted their motorcycles, engines roaring as they peeled out of the parking lot. Their bravado disappeared into the distance, leaving nothing but dust in their wake. Sarah let out a shaky breath she hadn't realized she was holding. Relief washed over her, but it was mixed with lingering adrenaline. Logan turned to her, his lips tugging into a smirk. "You okay, sis?" She exhaled, giving him a look somewhere between gratitude and exasperation. "I am now." Logan chuckled, wrapping an arm around her shoulder. "Good. But next time, maybe don't pick a fight with the biker gang." Sarah rolled her eyes, but she couldn't help but smile. Because she knew, no matter what, her brother would always have her back.